1 Kings chapter 18. And it came to pass after many days, and the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, and appear to Ahab, and I will put rain upon the face of the earth. And Elijah went to appear to Ahab. And there was a strong famine in Samaria. And Ahab called Obadiah the manager. And Obadiah was fearing the Lord exceedingly. And it came to pass when Jezebel struck the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets, and hid them by 50 in 2 caves, and nourished them with bread and water. And Ahab said to Obadiah, Come, and we should go through in the land unto the springs of the waters, and unto all the rushing streams, if perchance we should find pasturage, and we should preserve the horses and mules, and the cattle shall not be destroyed from us. And they divided to themselves the way to go by it. Ahab went by one way, and Obadiah went by another way alone. And Obadiah was in the way alone, and behold, Elijah came to meet with him. And Obadiah hastened and fell upon his face and said, Are you he, O my master, Elijah? And Elijah said to him, I am. Go, tell your master, Behold, Elijah. And Obadiah said, How have I sinned that you appoint your bondman into the hands of Ahab to kill me? As the Lord your God lives, is there a nation or kingdom of which my master did not send to seek you? And if they said, He is not here, then he adjured the kingdom and its places, for he did not find you. And now you say, Go, announce to your master, Behold, Elijah. And it will be, if I should go forth from you, and a wind of the Lord shall lift you into the land which I know not, and I shall enter to report to Ahab, and he should not find you, then he will kill me. But your bondman is fearing the Lord from out of his youth. Or was it not reported to you, my master, what things I have done when Jezebel killed the prophets of the Lord, that I took from out of the prophets of the Lord 100 men, and hid them in the caves by 50, and I maintained them with breads and water? And now you say, Go, tell your master, Behold, Elijah, and he will kill me. And Elijah said, As the Lord of the forces lives, in which I stand before him, that today I will appear to him. And Obadiah went to meet with Ahab, and he reported to him. And Ahab ran forth and went to meet with Elijah. And it came to pass, as Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said to Elijah, Are you he turning aside Israel? And Elijah said, I do not turn aside Israel, but you and the house of your father, in your leaving the Lord your God, and to go after the Baalim. And now, send and gather together to me all Israel at Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal, 450, and the prophets of the sacred groves, 400, eating at the table of Jezebel. And Ahab sent into all Israel, and assembled all the prophets to Mount Carmel. And Elijah came near to all the people, and said to them, For how long will you be lame upon both your hams? If the Lord is God, go after him. But if Baal, go after him. And the people answered not a word. And Elijah said to the people, I am left alone, a prophet of the Lord, and the prophets of Baal are 450 men. Give then to us 2 oxen, and let them choose for themselves one, and let them dismember it, and place it upon the wood, and do not put fire upon it. And I will do the same with the other ox, and in no way will I put fire upon it. And you, Yell out in the name of your gods, and I will call upon the name of the Lord my God. And it will be, the God who ever heeds by fire, this is God. And all the people answered and said, The word is good which you have spoken. And Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, Choose for yourselves the one ox, and prepare it first, for to you are many, and call in the name of your God, and do not put fire upon it. And they took the ox, and offered it, and called in the name of Baal from morning until midday. And they said, Heed us, O Baal, heed us. And there was not a sound, and there was not a hearing anything. And they ran upon the altar of which they made, and it became midday. And Elijah the Tishbite sneered at them, and he said, Call with a great voice. Perhaps he is himself in some meditation, and at the same time perhaps he is executing business, or perhaps he sleeps and shall rise up. And they called out with a great voice, and mutilated themselves according to their custom, with knives and by spears, until blood poured out of them. And they prophesied, until of which time it went into the midday. And it came to pass, as the time of the midday to ascend for the sacrifice, that there was not a sound, and there was not a hearing anything. And Elijah said to the people, Come forward to me. And all the people came forward to him. And he repaired the altar having been raised. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of Israel, as the Lord spoke to him, saying, Israel will be your name. And he built the stones in the name of the Lord, and repaired the altar of the Lord, the one having been raised. And he made a sea, having the space of 2 measures of seed, round about the altar. And he put the kindling upon the altar which he made, and he dismembered the whole burnt offering, and he put it upon the kindling, and piled it upon the altar. And Elijah said, Bring to me 4 water pitchers, and pour upon the whole burnt offering and upon the kindling. And he said, Repeat it a second time. And they repeated it a second time. And he said, Do it a third time. And they did it a third time. And the water went round about the altar, and the sea filled with water. And as it was time of the offering the sacrifice, and Elijah the prophet came and said, O Lord, God of Abraham and Isaac and Israel, today let it be known to all this people that you are the Lord God of Israel, and I am your bondman, and through you I have done all these things. Heed me, O Lord, heed me, and let this people know that you are the Lord God, and you turned the heart of this people back. And fire fell from the Lord from out of the heaven, and it devoured the whole burnt offering, and the kindling, and the water in the sea, and the stones, and the dust was licked up by the fire. And all the people saw, and fell upon their face, and they said, Truly, the Lord is God. The Lord, He is God. And Elijah said to the people, Seize the prophets of Baal. Let not one from out of them escape. And they seized them. And Elijah led them down unto the rushing stream Kishon, and slew them there. And Elijah said to Ahab, Ascend, and eat and drink, for it is the sound of the noise of the rain. And Ahab ascended to eat and to drink. And Elijah ascended unto Carmel, and he bowed upon the ground, and put his face between his knees. And he said to his servant lad, Ascend, and look the way of the sea. And the servant lad ascended and looked, and he said, There is nothing. And Elijah said, Return 7 times. And it came to pass in the 7th time and behold, a small cloud, as the sole of a man's foot, came with water from the sea. And he said, Ascend, and say to Ahab, Team up your chariot, and go down, lest the rain should overtake you. And it happened from here and here, and the heaven darkened with clouds and wind, and there became a great rain. And Ahab rode horseback, and went unto Jezreel. And the hand of the Lord came upon Elijah, and he fastened his loin, and ran in front of Ahab unto Jezreel.